on my way to work again. Did this last week. I know I have a tendency to go on somewhat, and so I'm going to try and keep this one really short. Yeah, famous last words. I'm going to talk today about coincidences, and I don't know if that relates to numerology or, you know, the study of arcane stuff. Just a little bit of it may touch on superstition, a little bit of it may touch on synchronicity, and oh, you get the idea. Anyway, I can look at the camera now because this here is a red traffic light, so I'm not moving, so I don't have to keep my eyes on the road. Oh, look, the light turned green, so I gotta move again. So anyway, I'll get back to you when I'm in a cab, alright? So where's all the excitement, you may ask? It's Saturday night of a long weekend. It's Labor Day weekend. It is the 1st of September. I know you'll probably only see this by around the 8th. But that's the way it goes, I suppose. I used to make videos and put them up right away. Now it's like I got quite a bit of material backlogged, so, you know, it gets done when it gets done. We were talking about coincidences and strange things like that. You know, sometimes you get a run of customers that's so good, like one after another, just so good. And if you're making good money, it somehow attracts more money. And, you know, just like a couple weeks ago on Friday night, I had a $600 night. And I still don't know how the hell I did it because I didn't really work that hard. I had a great time, and I was just getting these big tips all over the place and long trips, and it was just wonderful. And you can have nights where it does the same thing but in reverse. It's like you're cursed, and everything you do, everything you touch turns to rat shit. And, you know, I've had something like that too. Last night was, you know, I made my money. I stayed out here for 12 hours, but it was a hard grind, you know. Sometimes it just falls in your lap, and other times you have to, you know, persevere and persevere to make it go. But, you know, that's the way the business is. It's rhythms, you know. It's good and it's bad. It's busy and it's quiet. And there are certain rhythms to certain times of year. And the phases of the moon, I mentioned it before, phases of the moon, I always have great luck with full moons, sort of luck in between. And when it's a new moon, it's not going to be pleasant. Not much anyway, not by a lot. So I've got two fares. I've got $37. It's not quite an hour that I've been out here. That's not too bad, actually. It'll be an hour in about 15-20 minutes. So I'm off to a start for the Saturday night. Come on. You know what I'm gonna say, right? This is the end of Taxi Vlog 22. Now I suppose this is a good occasion for me to turn the camera on. I'm on my way back from the ferry terminal out in Swartz Bay, which is out beyond Sydney. It's like the end of the road. I had this customer who said he'd been in Australia for 3 years on a work visa, and I asked him, well, what were you doing there? He said, well, I was doing GPS. I said, GPS? Well, I happen to know somebody who has a tractor that drives itself in the outback, just like where you were. And I said, do you ever watch YouTube? He says, oh yeah, I like YouTube. I watch it all the time. And he says, well, I asked him if he knew Ozpete. And I said, no. He said, no, I never met the guy. Didn't know him. But anyway, he was on a work visa for 3 years, and I suppose it expired, so he had to come back to Canada. And now he came to Victoria to visit a friend who lives here. He hadn't seen in a while, and He lost his cell phone, so he didn't have any phone numbers. He ended up at the wrong address. He didn't know anything where to go, and so he ended up in a donut shop. So I had this fare from the donut shop out to the ferries. $50 fare. Very nice. Now, I'd never dropped anyone off at the ferries at 3:15 in the morning. This is the first time for everything, and I didn't know that they had gates that closed on the place. So we get there and we're at the gates. I say, well, you know, what are you going to do? And he says, well, I'm going to find a way to amuse myself. The first ferry's at 7, right? And I said, yeah, it's at 7, but it's just after 3 now. I said, well, you're going to have 3 hours to kill here. He says, well, I could sit in the donut shop and eat donuts, or I could be out here. And so I left him pissing on the wall. Now I'm heading back into town. I've almost made my money. It's like 3:30 almost, and I've got another 2 or 3 hours to go anyway. So I'm gonna try and make a bigger profit than what I normally would have. This really concludes Taxi Vlog 22.